Welcome back to Cigar Time, your ever so friendly show all about premium cigars. Welcome back.
Well,
Thanks.
no, we should
well,
be saying that
welcome
to you.
you. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hope I remember how to do this. It's been so long.
In case you all don't recognize our esteemed guest
Yes.
and
Fearless leader.
former host,
Former host. Boy, how fast they forget.
that's it. You head to Florida and everybody forgets all about you.
Well, it's not like I'm going to Florida for my health. I'm
Well,
working
that
down
would
there.
be
We got
really
stores in
acceptable.
Florida.
I know.
You know, this is the mature section of the company.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go. Hey, hold the
looking
hand of the
around
kid.
at- very
wait,
mature.
let me distance myself from that
Yeah.
comment because
Yeah.
I'm definitely not part of the mature portion of the
You're older
company.
than I am.
But I don't act that way.
That's true. That's true. Well, it's good to be back. It's. I'm only here for a very brief time and back to Florida. But as we enter our 10th year, as the only, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, and anybody,
Nope. It's the only television show.
we're the only television show dedicated to premium cigars that airs not only over the air on your rabbit ears. They still have rabbit ears?
Yeah.
Okay. Cable, DirecTV, Dish
Satellite.
Network,
Satellite. Yeah.
Martian television. We're the only set.
It was
Facebook
important
Live.
to be on Martian television because eventually everybody's going to get there.
That we want to get there first and open that market up.
So when people arrive in their spaceships, the first thing they can do is buy
Get
a cigar.
I love it. I love
A store coming near you.
No matter what planet you're
it.
on.
Does UPS make deliveries there? Do you know?
They're working on their space program.
Good. We have a really nice cigar we're smoking today that will be in our store shortly, which is an exclusive, a cigar exclusive, and we're going to light up now.
Okay, goody.
I'm amazed you've gone that long without lighting
It
up,
wasn't easy.
but I need your lighter to light up. Thank you.
So the cigar that we're smoking is called the Founders series, and Founders, well, it's named for the founders of our country, and each of the blends is named for a different founder. The company was created by a group of veterans who, at the beginning of the pandemic, would hang out together in the evenings, outdoors, build a big bonfire, and smoke cigars. And as a group, they decided to start blending their own cigars and having their own.
How come we didn't think of that?
Well, I did.
Yeah.
What, thought of it?
Yes.
It died of loneliness?
No.
No, it did not.
So, a couple of other things of interest about this line of cigars. We actually are the exclusive distributors of the versions that we have, which are 3. The cigar comes in a Habano wrapper, comes in a Maduro wrapper, or it comes in this elegant barber pole that we're smoking now.
This is George Washington.
Yes.
George Washington.
It's the Washington barber pole,
Yeah.
as they call it. This is also a little bit different as barber pole cigars go. Normally, when you see barber poles, it's a Maduro and a Connecticut
Right.
for the greatest possible contrast. This is a little more subtle, and flavor-wise, it's probably a little more interesting. It's a Ecuadorian Habano and a Connecticut shade combined. So the dark part isn't quite as dark, but that has some real impact on the flavor profile.
It sure does.
The rest of the cigar, it's a Nicaraguan binder. The fillers are Nicaraguan and Dominican.
Okay. Now these cigars normally retail $9 to $11, and you can see them online for those prices as well. Can't tell you the price, but all I can say is you're going to save a whole lot of money. We bought them all.
Yeah,
We
it's
bought
not-
them all.
It's not 9 or 11.
It's not 9 or 11, not even close. Well, it's in the same zip code,
Barely.
but in a lesser neighborhood,
I got
price-wise. And price is important.
it. It is, but it has nothing to do with the rating.
Like I said, price is important. Boy, did I miss
God,
it.
yeah, really.
I knew you were going.
You know I was going to. Yeah.
The show just hasn't been the same without this particular
I know, I've been
debate.
watching
That
it.
is correct.
I've been watching them.
That's right.
It lost quite a bit without me.
Oh my God.
It wasn't the same.
It's no longer humble.
I did bring a certain humility to the show.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just glad I don't have to say anything. I can sit here like Scott.
No, who?
Exactly. He's probably still hungover from the show. The
Nothing
PCA
was-
show.
Well, at least this time he didn't get COVID.
That's,
Oh.
well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Well, that's true. One can only hope.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, to me, barber poles are an interesting concept in cigars because you get the flavor of two different wrappers. Depending on the way it's wound and the way it burns, you can get a flavor switch up almost on every puff because you're burning more Habano wrapper at some points and you're burning more Connecticut wrapper at other points. So the flavor keeps switching back and forth. From a physical production standpoint, there are really two different ways to make barber poles. One way is you make it with one wrapper and then you add the strips of the second wrapper. But the real way to make them is you lay the two wrappers over each other at an angle and you roll it so it's a barber pole as you're rolling it initially.
I would think that would make it a lot easier to construct. Because the other way you have to cut
the other way,
strips.
there's extra, significant extra work involved.
I think it would stay together better too.
Yeah, what tends to happen on the ones that where they add the strips later is that they tend to peel a little
Right.
bit. Even if they're glued down with the cigar glue, they tend to separate and
Right.
peel along the seams.
I've smoked a few of these so far, and never a problem with them. They don't peel. I mean, they burn.
No,
good.
these are.
No.
I don't know which method they used on this. I would have to
hard
take
to
one
tell.
apart. So if they did it the strip way, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Because it's not lifting up or
No.
separating
No.
at all.
It's very well constructed. I've had a few also. I've never had a problem with anything. Burn, draw, anything.
Tell you what, smoke production is also
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. And it's packed. I mean,
Yeah, this is not an
Yeah.
underfilled cigar.
No, not even close. You get your money's worth.
And a better value since it's not $9 to $11.
But value doesn't count in the rating.
Not in the rating, it doesn't. You're not going to set me
I
up.
can't,
I will say-
can't help but stir the pot. I'm sorry.
I will say that I have never been a big fan of barber pole. Just never got the whole thing. But this is the combination in this one's pretty tasty.
This is the first one you smoked.
Yeah,
isn't
it's the
it?
first one, yeah. That's my initial impression of it anyway.
Yeah, we got many thousands of them in.
Yes, you
we
won't have
definitely
trouble finding these at our stores.
No.
They'll be in there when this show airs. They may be just arriving, or will be arriving shortly. We have them. We just need to distribute them to the stores, and they'll be in the space-saving
Try.
trays. Yeah, so you're not paying extra money for boxes or whatever.
And if you want to buy a bundle of them,
Yeah, we
it's
have.
cheaper than buying it by
Yeah.
the box.
Yeah, for sure. But they do good work.
Yeah.
So besides making a decent cigar,
They do good-
They do good work.
They do charitable veteran support efforts, and they do them well.
Yeah. But having said that, the cigar still has to stand on its own. And I can tell you, I've smoked all the blends so far, the Habano, the Maduro, and the Barber Pole. And for this man's money, they're delicious and they're economical.
It does come in a fourth wrapper, but
Candela. Yeah,
no one smokes. Except
nobody-
for Mike.
We didn't buy
Mike
those.
smokes. He's got one left.
Thank
over
God
there.
for small favors.
Well, when I was a kid, everybody smoked green cigars. But nowadays, it's rare and far in between. I mean, St. Patty's Day,
Is pretty much it.
yeah, it's the high point of
Yeah.
Candela.
I smoked my last one at the show a bunch of years ago when I got sick on it, and I'll never smoke one again.
Candela's not for everyone.
It's a
I
great
personally
cliff.
don't think Candela is for anyone, but some people don't know any better.
Chlorophyll.
Yeah, you taste the chlorophyll.
Oh yeah, that's the whole idea.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Candela is the industry name for green tobacco,
American Market Selection.
AMS.
Yeah.
And the reason that it's green and the reason that it tastes the way it does is they hang the tobacco for a much shorter period of time before they start the fermentation. And the result of that is there's still a lot of chlorophyll left in the leaf. Part of what happens when you're hanging it is that the chlorophyll fades away and the leaf turns from green to brown.
Brown.
But if you're in a hurry, you might not want to wait for it to turn brown.
It only takes 72 hours
Yeah.
to dry it out.
So that should tell you how much of a hurry they were in the early 60s when they first started making green cigars for
Yeah.
America.
Well, and you have to realize that most of the cigars that were Candela or AMS in the 50s and 60s were made for machine products.
Initially, yes.
Yeah, and it was easier to get the tobacco ready quicker, you know, and cheaper in a way.
Well, quicker, cheaper, but also available because all of a sudden they couldn't use any Cuban tobacco anymore.
No.
So they needed something and they needed it fast.
And AMS was it.
AMS is it. A lot of people really don't like the flavor of chlorophyll in a Candela. I'm one of those.
Well, over the years I smoked many of them, and every once in a while it's not a bad taste. So
Yeah,
it would never be
it's-
my regular go-to.
Once every 3 to 4 years.
Yet I'm sure most of the people watching this show who are cigar smokers, which most of you are, probably never smoked a Candela, and that's okay
Hey,
too.
you're better off for it.
Well, if you want to make the experiment, there are several
Yeah.
high-quality Candela cigars out there.
Which nobody carries.
Yeah, they're hard to get.
I don't. Do we have a Candela cigar? In
Yeah.
our-
Just the
Just
Alec
the,
Bradley.
Alec Bradley.
the St.
The
Patty's cigars.
Yeah, the Filthy Hooligan and the Shamrock.
Yeah, there's only a couple manufacturers who make a limited
We don't do
amount.
858.
Fuente makes them.
Yeah,
Fuente makes actually theirs
they
wasn't
make a
bad.
couple of them
It
actually.
wasn't a bad cigar. The
Yeah.
858 Candela was actually the first one I've ever had, and it was actually a decent cigar.
But
but
the
ever since
taste
I had
is
that-
not for everyone.
Yeah, I would smoke one like I said every 3 to 4 years,
Yeah.
but it's just not a.
I find the Candela in 858 is just not quite as potent.
Yeah, it's not as strong. Yeah, and the blend is pretty good. So.
Well, I think maybe time to give our first
First impression.
impressions. Moose, why don't you start it off?
Well, as we said earlier, it's well made. It's holding up. It's burning great. I mean, burning straight, which
Yeah.
is good. A lot of cigars these days because they don't fill them properly. Canoe and whatever. And so far, I'm enjoying the flavor. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm not a big fan of Barber Pole, but this is tasty. I like it.
Paul?
It's mild, but there's flavor there. And the flavors that are there are very good. I like this. I love the way it feels in your hand because even after it warms up and opens up, it's still not soft.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a firm cigar, and I like that. And the flavor is good. It's mostly on the front of my palate.
Yeah.
Just a little tingle and some flavor.
Yeah. Firstborn?
It is a very tasty cigar. I can't identify all the flavors. I'm getting some nuttiness from it. The retrohale is really tasty. And there's no spice whatsoever in this cigar.
Nope.
None. But Paul, you're correct. It is a milder cigar, on the milder side.
I think it's a little more than just mild because it's
Really? I don't.
Oh, especially on the retrohale. I wouldn't call it mild. I'd call it mild plus a little bit. I mean, it's not medium strong or anything like
No.
that. But anybody could smoke this cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
On the strength scale, I would give it a 1.5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's because it's not mild to medium, and it's definitely not medium. So I'd give it 1.5.
Well, it's not mild like a lot of cigars are.
It's not like smoking air.
Yeah, it's not like a Macanudo.
Oh, I wasn't going to say
No, I know you were.
There goes that sponsor right in the toilet.
That's the standard for
Mild.
Yeah.
ultra mild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course,
It's
except
not-
for the gold.
It has a much more taste than that.
Yeah, and that's the important thing.
Yeah,
To me, it's all about the taste. I don't care about the strength. I care about the taste.
right.
And this will not tickle the back of your throat.
No.
Yeah.
This is clearly just an everyday smoke. You can smoke this any time of the day or night.
I just got some butter through the retro ale.
Yeah.
Very buttery, creamy.
I don't know where they're getting their tobacco, but the ones I've smoked so far in all the blends, I especially like the Habano blend. That's a really tasty Habano.
I haven't had that yet.
We could
Although
smoke
it's the same Habano as they use in
direct,
this.
right.
It's just the whole thing.
We could smoke
instead.
that next week.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do the
that.
Habano next week.
So they call these barber poles, sometimes they call them dual wrappers, unless they use 3 and then they call it a triple wrap.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting, not so much about a cigar, but the whole idea of what a barber pole is. You know, we're all used to seeing in front of a barber shop that pole rotating
course.
around with the white and the red.
Except it's starting to disappear more and more.
Well, there aren't so many barbers
Is there
anymore.
blue on there too?
Sometimes, not always.
It's mandatory in Pennsylvania to have a
A pole?
pole, a barber pole. On a
These
barber
salons
shop.
don't have it.
Yeah.
The
So on the barber shops, have to have it.
Oh.
It's mandatory.
The interesting thing to me is where those came from. The ones at barbershops, not the ones on cigars. Originally, in like the Dark Ages, barbers served as surgeons.
Yeah.
And the way you knew where the surgeon was is they would put a pillar out in front of their store or office and wrap the bloody rags
Ugh.
from after their surgery. They'd wrap the rags around the pole. And that way you knew that's where the surgeon was.
Huh.
Yeah, because back in those days, bleeding was was a cure.
That was one of the major things that surgeons did. They bled people. It's a horrible thought.
Even though it's in a different matter, they still do it today.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know some retail stores that still bleed their customers.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
Not us.
No, of course not. They do still use leeches.
Yeah, leeches. You usually buy them. Oh boy.
By the pound.
I'm going to get myself in trouble. When I was a kid, they were available in areas that were that
Economically challenged.
no, not necessarily economically challenged, but they were culturally from Asia.
Gotcha.
How's that?
That was really, really careful.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, God forbid you say. I mean, you can't even say it like Chinatown. Oh God. Although there are signs.
It's Asian Pacific town now.
Yeah. No. But if you go downtown to many cities,
They all have Chinatown.
Yeah, they call them Chinatown. It's on the maps. It's on the signs leading into.
Little Italy.
Yeah, Little Italy.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Nothing is right.
But they don't sell leeches in Little Italy.
No. They sell good
They
food.
serve them.
Yeah. And many of the customers are. But no.
Leeches. That's terrible.
Oh boy.
Here we go, descending again.
You better woke me up.
No.
Is there anything dramatic going on in the industry as a whole right now? The cigar industry?
It's burning up.
It's on fire. Okay.
I don't know. I didn't go to the
Going
show.
up in smoke.
Can't tell.
Oh,
Has to get that in.
I did. You know I had to.
Let's see. Cancel Aruba.
No, wait a second. Let's not be harsh.
Send firstborn to Hoboken, not
oh
Aruba.
boy, that's a curse. Getting sent to Hoboken
Well,
instead
have
of
you seen
Aruba.
Hoboken lately?
Well,
It's not the old Hoboken you
no,
remember.
no. It's a
A thriving area
yes.
filled with malls, centers, this, that, and the other thing.
Actually, Hoboken, I think, came in 4th or 5th, but the most expensive city to live in America
Wow.
is in New Jersey.
And I thought
it's
it was Quakertown.
Jersey City is
Okay.
actually the single most expensive
an
place in
amazing
America.
thing?
And it was a slum 10
50
years
years
ago.
ago, you could have bought whole city blocks for $100,000.
And 10 years
that's
ago,
what
you
they
wouldn't
did.
want
But if
to
you're in
walk
New York
around at
on the
night.
river,
And that's what they did, and they built it up.
I remember in
Good for
a former life, my CFO, his mother lived in one of those projects in Jersey. Oh, actually, he grew up in the project in Jersey City. I remember we were going to. I was in the car. We were going to visit his mother, and I said to him, I said, Bruce, one day you see all this area, you see all that, the New York skyline and the river. One day, this is going to be the most valuable territory in the United States. Sure enough, it's become that.
Philosophically speaking, I have always believed that it's worse to pay New York rent and look out the window at New Jersey,
Yeah.
and it's better to pay New Jersey rent and look out the window at the New York skyline.
And of course, now in Jersey, unfortunately, with the taxes and everything else.
The rents
That's
are
trying to be New
ridiculous.
York.
Yeah, I mean, it's no longer the bargain.
No,
At least New York has rent control. I don't think they have that in Jersey.
no, not as far as I know.
Cigars also, I don't know if you're noticing, is burning slow. You're getting a good bang for your buck.
Normally, with a Robusto-sized cigar like this, I'd be 2/3
Yeah,
of the
you'd
way
be
done
done.
already.
Yeah, you'd be done. We also just, I don't know if we mentioned this. Please forgive me if we did. We have these in different sizes. We have Robusto, we have a Toro, and we have a Churchill. Now, not every blend may come in all three sizes, but that's generally how it works.
Well, you know where you can get these now? Cigar samplers.
Oh yeah, CigarSamplers.com.
Yeah.
Where the
You've got it.
cigars are the stars.
Cigars is, what a great slogan.
Oh my God.
Gee, I wonder who came up with that.
Let me think a second. Can't remember.
Oh, okay.
And free shipping.
And free shipping, or as he calls it, free chipping.
Shipping.
CigarSamplers.com.
Yeah.
We get $2 every time we mention it.
CigarSamplers.com. Cigar
That was too fast. Only $1 for you.
Oh, dang.
We're talking less and smoking more. That means we enjoy this.
I mean, it must be good.
It is good.
So we haven't gotten word yet about anything new from the show.
Not yet. No, we will. Well, I spoke to people that were on the floor, and you know, there's a new Esteban Carrera Maduro, which Kim, our GM down in Florida, said was really, really good.
Really?
So we'll be bringing that in, I guess. There's more and more stuff. The show had a lot of new products, and sometimes new products are good, and sometimes, you know, new products are a pain in the butt. So
And that's why we smoke everything.
we smoke them so you don't have to.
Yeah.
But after smoking these, when it was first presented to us about a month ago, after smoking the samples we were sent, we just jumped all over it.
Yeah.
And we bought them all.
It's a tremendous value.
Yeah, yeah. People are going to like this cigar.
It's very good.
Problem is,
Once they're gone, they're gone.
once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
Or no, they'll be replaced with the new boxes. It's a cosmetic thing. It's not the blend of the cigars. It's
No,
boxes.
I don't know. I thought they were changing the blends too.
No, I don't think they're going to mess with
I
the
hope not,
blends.
because this is a great
Yeah,
blend.
these are great blends.
My understanding is they're using a different factory to do the rolling, and they redesigned their bands and boxes, but
Yeah.
they didn't mess with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard something different, but okay. I like your idea better. I like what you heard better.
Well, at least we have a shot to get more. Unfortunately, we won't be able to sell them at the prices we'll be
No, no,
selling.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Not even close. But, you know, once in a while, things drop into our lap, and we were quite fortunate to be at the right place at the right time to get these.
Mm-hmm.
And then after smoking them, we kind of jumped on it.
With good reason.
Yeah, very good reason.
I'm not sure which other presidents they named the rest of the wines for. I know that one of them is a Roosevelt, even though he wasn't a founder.
Did you know that yesterday was the anniversary of the famous Hamilton Burr duel
No, I did not know
in
that.
Jersey?
Yesterday at time of filming, or yesterday as
Yesterday, time of filming.
in... Okay. I did not. The 11th?
Yeah,
Really?
was like the, I don't know, 10,000th anniversary or whatever. it is.
I don't think it's been that long.
Seems like I was much younger back then.
Yeah. John was there.
Yeah, I was
John
going to
was
say,
there,
John was already old.
Yeah. He was the second.
He was the second.
And unfortunately,
He was Aaron Burr's second.
unfortunately, Burr hit his target.
Yeah,
He would have
yeah.
got John.
Nah, you can't shoot John.
Good point.
As much as you might want to. No.
Oh, God. I can't say what I want to say. We got any upcoming events?
Probably.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
I guess so. Both of them.
Yeah, but
both of them.
Scott's not here to tell him
About the events.
at the event. Actually, we only got a couple of minutes. We got to put numbers on it.
Well,
Rating.
we're okay.
No.
I've got it covered.
Okay.
I've got it
Just
covered.
thought maybe you didn't know how to do the show. It's been a long time.
Oh, about 6-7 months.
Well, yeah.
All
Well,
right.
you can forget a lot in 6 or 7
Not
months.
me.
No,
Mine
that's
like a steel trap.
What's your name
Rusty.
again?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Moose. Speak slowly.
I get a lot of the butteriness everybody said. I do that. I get just a tad of spice, but I can't tell what it is.
Nutmeg.
I was going to say nutmeg earlier.
I got a hint of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. And the butter. Go ahead, Moose.
And I give it a 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Paul?
I find it to be a very steady cigar. The flavors don't change
No.
much, but they're good to begin with, and they stay that way. I also find this cigar burns very cool.
Yeah.
You know how some cigars heat up too much. This one, not at all. I agree with Moose. I give it a 9, although if I was going to factor in the price, I'd probably go 925.
Okay. Good for you.
I said if.
Junior?
This is a really good cigar, especially for the price that we're going to come out with, which I don't know what it is.
He said it.
I'm just saying, it's especially for the price. It has nothing to do with the rating I want to give it. I'm getting the nutmeg through the retrohale, and it's real good. It's real tasty. I'm getting a butter taste and a creaminess from it. I'd give this a 925. I think it's really tasty.
I agree with everything that's been said. Like, got a hint of nutmeg. It has a nice sweet finish. I mean, it really coats your mouth with a delicious taste.
Yeah.
It's everything a cigar should be. And I'm going to go with a little higher rating because I really love the cigar. I make no bones about it. And because also the price, and I know what we're going to be selling it at, I give it a 950.
Whoa, whoa, there you go.
So it's good to be back amongst you.
It's good to have you back.
to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yes.
So don't forget to stay tuned to watch our, what do we call that show?
The outlet show.
The Outlet Show, yeah. And it's great, again, to be working with my comrades of many, many, many years. And we'll see you next week.
Smoke
Bye-bye
what
for
you got.
now.
Ciao for now,
Smoke
everybody.
often and smoke happy.